When they get older, do narcissists become even more destructive than they already are? Everyone, I really appreciate you coming back for another episode. I pray that today is fantastic for all of you. Many people are unable or unwilling to break ties with narcissists, and thus they remain in unhealthy relationships with them. This could be due to a number of variables, such as the presence of the narcissist's children from a prior relationship, the narcissist's status as a blood relative, or the prevalence of trauma bonding. But this has left many wondering if there is any chance, or if narcissists get worse as they get older. Narcissists, no matter how old they are, will never outgrow their need for narcissistic supplies. Many mature narcissists, however, openly value more sinister forms of narcissistic satisfaction. Inflicting pain and suffering on others is a source of dark narcissistic supply for narcissists because they enjoy the knowledge that they are contributing to the world's sorrow. Since they are now considered seniors, they mistakenly believe they are above reproach. Narcissists do, in fact, deteriorate over time. Narcissists often deteriorate into their worst selves as they age because of the loss of autonomy and narcissistic supply that comes with maturity. Instead of becoming into more intelligent and compassionate individuals, they grow more antagonistic, manipulative, hypersensitive, furious, and entitled as they become older. To help you better understand narcissism and make well-informed decisions to protect your most vulnerable inner worlds, your thoughts, feelings, emotions, needs, and health, from the destructive influence of narcissists, this video will walk you through the various causes of a narcissist's deterioration with age. This decline in narcissists occurs for three primary reasons. There is a close relationship between the three key causes that contribute to an aging narcissist becoming their worst self. First, aging narcissists have a tougher time keeping their narcissistic supply in check. Second, as the narcissist's narcissistic supply dwindles with age, the narcissist's repressed painful ideas, sentiments, and feelings are brought to the surface. And finally, a lack of narcissistic supply makes narcissists emotionally unstable, leaving them open to being easily manipulated. The decline of an aged narcissist is unmistakably tied to his or her lack of narcissistic supply. Therefore, let's investigate the three causes of why narcissists deteriorate with age, so you may take precautions now or in the future. First, aging reduces a narcissist's ability to restock their reserves of self-importance. They have built their sense of self and pride in themselves on the most shallow, materialistic, and frivolous forms of narcissistic supply that society has to offer. Therefore, they are unable to sustain high levels of narcissistic supply into old age. Anything from approval to awe to reassurance to confidence to authority to command. A person's self-esteem and sense of self are shaped by their experiences, so it's crucial to give them with a nurturing setting. Individuals who are emotionally competent are the ones in control of maintaining their own dignity and sense of self-worth. Narcissists, however, suffer from a lack of emotional intelligence. And because of their inability to handle their emotions, narcissists must resort to the most superficial, materialistic, and frivolous kinds of narcissistic supply, such as being wealthy, driving a fast car, owning a large home, or having a large number of followers on social media. Narcissistic people's high levels of self-esteem and identity are entirely dependent on the narcissistic supply they receive from their immediate social group. Narcissists have access to a seemingly endless supply of narcissism thanks to their toolbox of manipulation strategies. Yet these strategies lose their effectiveness over time. Narcissists' most materialistic, frivolous, and flimsy sources of narcissistic nourishment are their physical beauty, their social standing, and their sexual partners. This is why old age is a time of greatest vulnerability for them. Secondly, narcissists who are getting on in years tend to have terrible mental and emotional breakdowns when their narcissism reserves run low. The narcissist relies heavily on their supply of narcissistic feedback in order to keep their emotions in check. Hence, this feedback is quite important. Narcissists had dysfunctional and or abusive upbringings in which they received little validation of their internal experiences from key caregivers. Having primary caregivers who are emotionally unavailable, unresponsive, and inconsistent can have a negative impact on a child's cognitive development and feeling of self-worth. The formation of an excess of painful ideas, sentiments, and emotions that narcissists are unable to manage through healthy techniques of emotional regulation is just one of the many negative outcomes of such upbringings. The narcissist's feelings of inadequacy, unlovability, unwantedness, weakness, and worthlessness are quite real and should not be dismissed. Fearing for their own mental health, narcissists stop seeking acceptance from their primary caregivers and instead turn to the larger population. Narcissists have a hard time overcoming the superficial, materialistic, and petty aspects of modern life because they lack the emotional intelligence to do so. That means they're drawing on the most primitive, superficial, and meaningless forms of social approbation and reassurance that our culture has to offer in order to establish their fake identities. Therefore, it is increasingly difficult for mature narcissists to replenish their egos. To sum up what has been discussed so far, narcissists decline with age because their false sense of self loses some of its luster, and their painful thoughts, sentiments, and feelings begin to threaten their emotional stability as they age and as their narcissistic supply dwindles. Third, narcissists, especially as they get older, tend to be fragile and vulnerable. Just a friendly reminder that it gets difficult for narcissists to stock up on narcissistic supply as they get older. This poses a risk to their mental health because it resurrects painful memories and feelings. This leaves the old narcissist incredibly vulnerable and fragile. When the narcissist's inflated sense of self-importance, uniqueness, and superiority is knocked out of them by a narcissistic injury, all they are left with are their own horrible thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Keep in mind that the emotions of inadequacy, unlovability, unwantedness, worthlessness, and frailty have a tremendous impact on people. Since narcissists lack the emotional competence to successfully regulate their emotions in such a crisis, they are in a particularly vulnerable situation. As a result, narcissists frequently exhibit aggressive, irrational, vengeful, and sad emotions. A damaged narcissist's manipulative behavior, such as narcissistic rage, mocking, stonewalling, and so on, is to be expected. Because of this, being around an old narcissist can be challenging at best. Last but not least, I think it's important to evaluate the narcissist's physical attributes. The narcissist's appearance isn't just a symptom of advancing years. It personifies pure wickedness. As the years pass, the cracks in the well-polished mask expose their resentment and animosity to anybody with the ability to see it. Narcissists are incapable of forgiving others or letting go of resentment. They are too old to convincingly play a hero or a victim, and their perpetual pessimism is written all over their expressions. Their emotionless stares convey the emptiness, darkness, and vengeance in their hearts. Despite this, there are some who continue to see the narcissist through the eyes of a helpless old person. My sincere wish is that you have found this to be illuminating and useful. Leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. Also, if you enable the bell after subscribing, you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded to this channel. We value your attention and time in watching this. Thanks.